You know what's really awesome? The Solar Performance 91mm ported throttle bodies. The performance that they add to your C8 Corvette Z06 and the drivability that they add is second to none. But what would make those 91mm ported throttle bodies even better? Let's talk about it. So by now, guys, I'm sure you all know I work with Solar Performance on a lot of different aspects of the Corvettes in general. The C8 Corvette Z06 you see here in front of you has the 91mm ported throttle bodies on it, and the difference that they make to the car is pretty astounding. The drivability is different. The power addition is awesome, of course, due to the increased airflow and everything like that, but that's kind of where it ends. And that's pretty much the only thing that people really require out of a ported throttle body, right? Yeah. That is the case. You want your ported throttle body to flow better, increase drivability, increase power a little bit. The 91s have been seen to increase power up to 15 horsepower. So how do we improve them? Well, Solar found a way. Let me introduce you to the 92mm ported throttle bodies. And I know, it sounds like, what? Okay, 92, that's just one more than 91, but there's a lot more to look at here. Let's take a look at these brand new 92mm ported throttle bodies from Solar Performance. And here it is, guys. Look at this beautiful piece of 92mm ported throttle body goodness. This is a billet aluminum housing. Yeah. No more cast aluminum here. We're going all in. Billet aluminum, anodized black. Yeah, if you want to do anodized black, you can. Otherwise, it'll just come in billet aluminum silver. But look at this piece. Along with the custom logo in there from Solar, they engraved that right on the blade for HPO. And the difference in quality here is astounding. I mean, it's a throttle body, for God's sake, and somehow I am absolutely blown away by the quality of this thing. I mean, that's how you're going to see it in the engine bay. Look at that. It is just a work of art. Now, you can't fully appreciate this without seeing the stock ones. Let's compare them. Billet aluminum, anodized black, 92mm ported throttle body compared to the stock one. Much more boring, much less performance. Now, what's really interesting is to look at this throttle body where we can see some light popping through. That's the stock throttle body. Now, if we grab the 92 ported throttle body from Solar, look at that. A ton more light. There's a lot more porting. And just take a minute to appreciate this port job. I mean, look at how absolutely smooth that is. It's absolutely incredible. And then on top of it, the way that this thing is constructed, it's a piece of art. And then, of course, in the back, we still have the dimpling on the shaft here for increased airflow again. Really, just an absolute piece of art. I mean, at the end of the day, these things are going to flow better. So even though it is only 1mm difference, they are going to be different. These new 92mm ported throttle bodies are going to flow over 1200 CFM each. That's over 24% more than the stock throttle body, which is by itself astounding. The 91s already perform really well. The 92s are going to perform even better at every possible stage. So everywhere throughout the percentage of throttle blade opening, it's going to perform better than the 91s. Now, I know what a lot of you guys out there are saying.
Well, Justin, I just bought my 91s. How can I get these?
Well, at the end of the day, the difference between the two is not going to be night and day. So if you already have the 91s, unless you want the new look, it's probably not necessarily worth the upgrade, but I'm gonna leave that up to you. Performance-wise, probably not gonna be worth the upgrade, but aesthetics-wise, like I said, you can get this thing in silver billet aluminum or anodized black. Plus, I'm gonna offer a special for you guys. If you want the HPO graving on the blade, which I think looks absolutely incredible, let me know, shoot me an email. I can get you the custom blades with HPO on it. And yeah, I think that would be awesome to have a bunch of cars running around out there with the HPO and the throttle blade. But I mean, even from this angle, just look at the difference in quality here. It's a throttle body and I'm freaking pumped about it. So anyway, guys, like I said, there is a performance bump here. It's just not necessarily massive enough for you to turn in your 91s that you may have just purchased and grab these instead. Now, if you don't have a set of ported throttle bodies, these are the ones. 100%, these are the ones. Now, if you guys remember, when David was up here putting in my new custom intake, we did not get the throttle bodies painted. And we mentioned in the video that I had something coming and I would explain why later. Yeah, that's why. Because they're already black. And again, guys, the difference in quality here is literally just, it's night and day. Absolutely incredible. But anyway, if you guys are wondering why billet aluminum, well, it's because billet aluminum is used in a lot of high performance parts like pistons, connecting rods, and other items with huge stress and vibration resistance. And nothing needs more vibration resistance than a throttle body or a part in general that goes on a flat plane crank engine that revs up to 8,600 RPM. Things vibrate in that car a little bit. So yeah, just a huge, huge, huge thumbs up to Solar Performance here, because I mean, again, look at the port job on this thing. It's incredible. Like, this is going to flow so smoothly. It's going to be insane. Anyway, I've got a lot of work to get into this because I'm going to have to take out the intake and all that stuff. I want to make this as easy of an install as possible. You can install these throttle bodies on here without taking all this stuff apart, but it ends up just being a giant pain. So I'm going to take this out so I can easily get them in there and get some nice shots of what these things are really going to look like for you guys. So yeah, I'm going to take a couple hours at this. It's going to feel like a couple seconds for you, though.
1 hour later.
You got to love the way the hexagon lighting hits carbon fiber in the garage. Yeah, it makes everything look prettier. Anyway, we're pretty much done with the install at this point, guys. We got them in there, and you could see they look pretty cool in there. Unfortunately, you'll never see that blade again, but definitely looks neat in there, even from the top down. Check those out. And you'll see those at car shows and stuff. Very obviously billet aluminum, very obviously anodized black. Really, really a nice look. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead, button all this stuff back up, and then we're going to take it for a ride. Real quick though, these throttle bodies do come with all new hardware, so new stainless steel screws and these little guys here that if you wanted to, you could put on the top of the throttle body itself. Obviously they're red, so I'm going to leave them off, but this is Solar Performance's logo, and then down below, 92. Kind of cool that they come separate. You can stick them on if you want. Like I said, I'm not going to because there's no other red on my car, so it wouldn't really make sense. But if you have a red, torch red car or red accents, that would be beautiful. It's just icing on the cake right there. Now, as always, guys, anything from Solar Performance you can save money on by using code HPO5. So make sure you're putting that in, getting your products for a substantial discount just for being a horsepower obsessed fan. And real quick, I got to make a huge shout out to Hot Rod Todd. Check that out, guys. He sent me the custom Eventuri lettering so I could put it over top of my Seawolf gray stripe, because normally these come with a red stripe. And look at that. It fit perfectly. It looks perfect. Big thank you. Thumbs up to Hot Rod Todd. Thanks, man. First start after the new 92mm throttle bodies. Bad. All right, so as you saw there, no check engine light, nothing weird about the car. Honestly, that cold start actually sounded a hair louder than usual. I don't know if it's just placebo or if it's really doing it, but either way, everything looks pretty good. Those things are looking phenomenal in there. Yeah, I think we're good to go, but let's go ahead and give it a drive, see if we notice anything different. There should be a little power bump and maybe a little bit of a drivability bump. I'm going to see if I can notice it or not, but yeah, so far so good here, guys. She's sounding good. And yeah, just so you know, it's almost 70 degrees here in Pennsylvania today. Wild. Let's take it for a ride. All right, so I've been driving for about an hour now, and the results of these new throttle bodies are interesting, because the biggest thing I'm noticing, and this is going to sound weird, but the biggest thing I'm noticing, the biggest difference, is everything feels smoother. Like everything. And I can promise you one thing, it is certainly not the roads in Pennsylvania. The amount of potholes and just ripped up garbage, it's staggering. But the acceleration, the throttle response, it just feels a lot more linear. The whole power from 0 to 60 and plus just feels smoother. There's less like notches to it. So it's hard to explain. It feels smoother. But what I also noticed immediately when I pulled out of my garage is it's slightly more sensitive to the throttle. So what I'll probably do is with my Solar Performance throttle controller, I'll probably bump that down. I'm at Sport 6 right now. I'll probably go to Sport 5 or Sport 4 because these do seem to be a hair more sensitive and a lot smoother. The car in general, everything just feels smoother. And the power, to be honest with you, feels just about the same. I can't notice a difference in the power, but it is definitely smoother and it's definitely a hair more sensitive. So if I had to guess, that's because when we were looking at those throttle bodies in the garage, the port job on those is just insanely smooth. Maybe because it's billet and it's just, you know, able to be polished out a lot better. Regardless of what the reasoning is, it is smoother and a hair more sensitive. And if I had to guess, you're probably talking about maybe another 1 to 2 horsepower out of these things. They're flowing 1200 CFM, which is significant. I think that was like 24% over stock, which is, again, significant. But the 91s flowed pretty well, too. The difference I'm noticing here, though, the 92s just, like I said, smoother and a little bit more sensitive. Plus, they look freaking killer in the engine bay. That throttle blade with the HPO logo on it. And if you guys want that, let me know. You have to email me to get the custom HPO engraved throttle blade. That is not included in the purchase typically. If you buy from Solar, you'll want to use HPO5 as your discount code. That will save you a bunch of money. And you can get it either anodized black or the normal billet silver. But if you want those extra HPO engravings, which of course I would highly recommend, if you do want those, you have to email me, horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com, and then I can kind of get your order placed with those engravings. There is an extra fee. I think it's $60. So shoot me an email if you want to be representing the HPO brand, even though you won't see them. They're gorgeous. I almost wish that I could get another set to just like hang on the wall. But either way, guys, I'm going to give these things a big thumbs up. The way that they look in the engine bay is reason enough for me, but I'm also noticing, like, even just right now, I'm in 8th gear going about 70 miles an hour. Everything just feels smooth. Like there's no random like bumps in the throttle, which I have noticed on the 91s, where just randomly it will like just a hair. I mean, it's not even a horrible thing. It's just these are smoother. That's the easiest way to say it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend these. If you don't have a set at all, these are the ones to get. If you already have the 91s, I'm going to leave it up to you because it's probably not as imperative of an upgrade. But if you have stock or the 87s, grab these. The 87s are actually going to be going away from what I understand. So after the 87s are gone, you'll have the option between the 91s and the 92s. And obviously the 92 is a huge upgrade, even outside of just the extra little bit of extra performance. Now, obviously I am getting my car tuned, and once I do, the 92s are going to allow that much more airflow. So yeah, thumbs up for me, guys. Anyway, I'm going to get to my destination here, and I'll update you guys once we get there if I've noticed anything else. But for the time being, this is it. All right, guys, so I made it to my destination here. I drove about 3 hours, and in that 3 hours, I realized the same thing that I was saying earlier. The throttle bodies definitely seem to have smoothed everything out, and they're a little bit more sensitive than the 91mm throttle bodies, and they did seem to add a little bit of power. So a couple different times whenever I got on it on the way here, I felt like there was a little bit more power. It could be a placebo, or it could just be because the throttle sensitivity is a little bit greater and kind of makes it seem like it's faster, but it does feel fast. I mean, this car always surprises me on just how quick it is, but with the throttle bodies, I'm very, very happy. Thumbs up to Solar Performance. They nailed it, man. The look, the build quality, the performance, these 92 millimeter ported throttle bodies have it all, guys. Use code HPO5 if you do want to grab a set for yourself. It'll save you a bunch of money. And again, if you want that HPO engraved throttle blade, let me know. horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. That will allow me to go ahead and submit that order for you with the blade. And I think it'd be awesome to have a bunch of people out there with the HPO throttle blades. So anyway, guys, big thumbs up to Solar Performance. They, like I said, they killed it. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't. And as always, stay obsessed.